What if I told you the most important oil alliance in the world just started to break apart? Not gradually, not quietly, but in a way that could reshape oil prices, global power, and even the dominance of the US dollar. Because that's exactly what just happened. The United Arab Emirates has left OPEC, and almost nobody is fully understanding what that actually means. Now, at first glance, this might sound like just another headline. Countries leave groups all the time, right? Wrong. This is not like Qatar leaving in 2019. It's not like Angola stepping away a few years later. Those didn't matter. This does. Because the UAE isn't just another member. It's one of the largest producers in OPEC and one of the few that can increase production quickly. Which means this isn't just a political move. It's a market-moving, system-breaking decision. OPEC exists for one reason: to control supply and therefore control price. Think of it like a group of producers agreeing to keep prices high. And for decades, that system worked. But it only works if everyone follows the rules and everyone agrees on strategy. And that's where things started to break. The real story is UAE versus Saudi Arabia. This isn't really about OPEC. For years, Saudi Arabia has pushed to cut production and keep prices high. The UAE has been saying, we've invested billions to increase capacity. Why should we hold back? That tension has been building quietly. Now it's not quiet anymore. This is the UAE saying, we're done playing by these rules. This is the most important part of the entire story. The UAE is changing its strategy from price control to market share capture. That's a huge shift. Instead of saying, let's keep prices high together, they're saying, we're going to produce more even if prices fall. Why? Because in a world where demand growth is slowing, owning more of the market can matter more than defending price. Just days before this announcement, the US Treasury signaled support for the UAE through a potential dollar swap line. At the same time, a security engagement increased. Military coordination deepened. Even Israeli defense systems were deployed in the UAE. That is not random timing. This is alignment. The UAE is moving closer to the United States financially, militarily, and strategically. Let's talk about something bigger. For decades, global oil has been priced in US dollars. That's the foundation of the petrodollar system. But recently, cracks have started to appear. Iran selling oil in yuan, China pushing alternative settlement systems. At one point, the UAE even hinted it could consider pricing oil in yuan. That's a big deal, because if major producers move away from the dollar, it changes the entire global financial system. So what did the US do? It moved quickly to make sure the UAE stays within its financial orbit. Now let's talk about what actually pushed this over the edge. Security. The UAE has been dealing with Iranian pressure and regional instability. So the UAE made a decision: we will act independently if the system doesn't protect us. And that includes oil policy. Now let's translate all of this into markets. Short term, remains bullish. Why? Supply is disrupted and OPEC is weaker. The Strait of Hormuz is constrained, so prices remain elevated. But medium term, potentially bearish. Because once the situation stabilizes, the UAE can increase production toward around 4.5 million barrels per day. That's a lot of supply. So you get this paradox: short-term prices rise, long-term prices face pressure. This is where things get really difficult. Saudi Arabia now has a problem. Without the UAE, OPEC is weaker and coordination is harder. Saudi Arabia has to choose: cut production to support prices but lose market share, or increase production and accept lower prices. There's no perfect answer, and that decision will shape the next phase of the oil market. For a moment, let us zoom out. This isn't just about oil. This is about the end of a system. For decades, global energy worked with coordinated supply and stable pricing. Now, we're moving toward competition and fragmentation. The UAE just accelerated that shift. They didn't just leave OPEC. It changed the rules of the game. Oil markets will be more volatile, alliances will be more fluid, and power will be more decentralized. If you're watching energy markets or geopolitics, this is one of those moments you need to pay attention to, because the effects of this decision are just getting started.